Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. It is January 21st, 2022, Monday. And again, I really don't have time for this, but I kind of don't have a choice. This was a weird fucking weekend. Actually, it was a weird week, which it always is when there's some kind of court something due. And Mr. Perry's desperate not to have an appeal, desperate not to have a hearing where I'm talking, and desperate for a cover up he's not getting. So here we go. Use the disclaimer. Do the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Nobody's been convicted in a court of law just yet. And we assert all constitutional rights. Apply the but-for standard. But for Mr. Perry's stalking, we wouldn't have to do these. We're doing it to establish mens rea, premeditation, intent to commit a crime against me. Stalking is a crime. Voyeurism is a crime, as is hacking. So, this has been a problem for a long time. Not just for me. I'm not the only victim. Mr. Perry has a lot of victims. These guys like to subjugate women. They have a misogynist problem. They've got a back hills hillbilly covered wagon problem. They've got a lot of problems mentally. We don't do this subjugation thing, Mr. Perry. That's a crime. It's called abuse, domestic abuse. You got mental problems. All of you do. I'm sorry that I won't mind you, but you're not invited into my life. You're an intruder, sir. I don't have feelings for you except disgust, deep disgust. If prisoners, even prisoners, are repulsed by guys like Jeff Epstein, who put cameras in his own house, pissed off all his friends, how much more repulsive are you to people who are not in prison, who understand and expect you to act within social norms in compliance with the law? You're an elected official. Your private life is subject to public scrutiny. I don't give a shit who you are. I really don't. Never did. I came from Vegas, sir. Walk down the strip and ask any of those people if they give two fucks who you are. They're not going to. So, but for your unwanted contact in making me feel raped and icked and slimed all over, and your subjugation and your intimidation tactics and your threats and your attempts to bribe me and all that shit, we wouldn't do these. We're establishing mens rea. I can't do this by myself. I guess somebody said, real quick, and apply the reasonable, prudent, individual standard here. I don't like you, Charles Perry. You disgust me. You're not my type. You're not even close. There is no way I would go out with somebody who's a peeping Tom. Where's Jacqueline, your wife, when you're sitting around on your fat, lazy ass, perverting around, disgusting everybody with your behavior? Where is she? She's your wife. Why are you being unfaithful to her in your little daydream pretend world? You're not impressing anybody. Listen, go down the strip. Ask any of those people if they give two fucks who you are. They don't. I think I said when I was in my 20s before I got married, I had VIP passes to all the nightclubs. I was there every Friday and every Saturday. I met all kinds of famous people, Mr. Perry. So I came from that to where you are in little podunk nothing, Texas. You're a boring little accountant. You really think I'd be impressed by somebody like you? I ran campaigns for a long time. I helped on a lot of campaigns. You are a nothing. You were the new guy. I had plenty of contacts. If I needed something politically done, I would go to them. I didn't need your help with fuck. You needed to meet the people I knew. Do you understand? Get off your high horse, sir. Put your pants on one leg at a time like everybody else does. You didn't impress me. I get that you were probably enamored with who I am. This is my granddad. He was the police chief in Roswell where I grew up. My family was the power in the town where I grew up. And I realize you have no fucking idea what that's like, do you? Not a clue. But we were taught that you behave, especially when you're family of an elected official. You need to keep your family problems in your own family and stop bothering mine with it, Mr. Perry. Nobody owes you a cover-up. You're not entitled to a date with me. You'll never get a date with me. You don't even get a phone call. For 8 years, sir, you've had a chance to control yourself, and you can't do it. I don't like you. There's nothing illegal about rejecting someone you don't like. Everyone gets rejected, and we all move on. I've been rejected. I've been rejected more than once. I moved on. And then thanked God later that didn't work out because something in that guy that I found out later would have made it impossible for me to live with. You disgust me, Mr. Perry. You're making everybody mad the more you pick at me and threaten me and harass me and threaten me and invade my privacy and bother and bother and bother and cause me hardship after hardship after hardship. My granddad went through something similar. There was a man who was on the city council that would come in and he was having an affair with the dispatcher. He was married. My granddad asked him to stop doing that. You're taking away from police business. That guy got pissed off, acted like a 3-year-old little brat, stomped his feet and threw a fit. Went and formed a committee within the city council that took over the police department. My granddad's chief at this time. He had a job to do. He was trying to do his job. This guy was not. This guy couldn't keep his pants zipped up. So my grandmother showed me a lot of articles in the newspaper about it, where there was mudslinging going back and forth. It was bad. My granddad didn't mudsling, the other guy did. And this went on for a while. My granddad finally resigned and went on to do other things. He was an elected official in Roswell, county treasurer. He was the GOP chairman, and he was the city councilman and one of the guys who helped establish the UFO museums that have brought a shit ton of money into Roswell, and people from all over the world come to look at that. My granddad and I do not believe aliens even exist, much less that they landed in Roswell. But there is something that happened there. He told me what it was. We don't talk about that. That's nobody's business. The thing is, people are curious about it, and they go look. And he helped establish something that brought, all that to his town. So, he got, at the end of the day, his name is on the front door of Roswell Police Department. This is a wall inside the building that you can see on the right there. His name is on that wall. He was honored. He took a stand for what he believed was the right thing to do. He got shit all over. But he didn't change his mind. He didn't back off. He didn't kowtow. He didn't kiss the ass of a pervert, sex pervert, flirting with his dispatcher. He didn't do any of that. You know what he did? The right thing. And he went through some adversity for it. And at the end of the day, he came out way ahead. God honored him. That's what God does. If you wouldn't treat your own kids, you wouldn't let anybody treat your own kids bad, what do you think the perfect Heavenly Father does when you treat other people bad, Mr. Perry? What would you do if someone did to Jordan what you do to me? Nobody's wrecked your car 4 times in 2 years. No one has tried to take your money. Maybe your illegally obtained, ill-gotten gains, but not your legitimate money, if you have any of that, if you even have it. So, leave me the fuck alone. What I did is I kept my mouth shut for 4 years. Only my close friends knew, most of whom did not live in Lubbock. They're not your voters. I didn't want to be a scandal, sir. I remember telling you, stop doing this. People are going to see you. Lubbock is a small town. If something happens at 8 o'clock, by 8:11, everyone in town knows about it. What they do in Lubbock is they'll call 5 people and tell those 5 people, you're sworn to secrecy. You can't tell anyone. Sure, no, I won't tell a soul. And here goes the gossip. And then those 5 people call 5 people, and then they call 5 people, and everyone thinks it's a big secret, only the whole entire town knows about it, Mr. Powell. So, you were told to leave me the fuck alone. Where's Jackie when you sit around on your fat, lazy ass, perverting around, pretending? Where is it? I can imagine someone like me coming into town, enamored you. You're a boring accountant. You don't have a life. You didn't come from the background I came from. You didn't come from Vegas. I came from Vegas. You guys were nothing. You guys were just more people. There's a lot of people in Vegas with a lot of different stories to tell, a lot of different backgrounds. So it's not like I moved to Lubbock and went, oh, wow, this car, ooh, wow. I just came from Las Vegas, Nevada. I just walked out of Harry Reid's office. You think I'm going to be impressed by some little podunk nothing like you? Fuck you. You're insane. You're insane, Perry. I wouldn't be impressed with you at all. Lubbock District, that district where you are, is 86% Republican. So a pro-choice individual cannot, under any circumstances, get elected in your district. So what the fuck is the issue that you thought I would make up a lie about being stalked and keep my mouth shut about it for 4 years, only telling a few close friends, most of whom didn't live in Texas. The close friends that knew saw you do shit and want to know what the hell was going on, like Cheryl Underwood. Saw you do shit that didn't make sense. It was weird. You know how many people said that? Charles Perry said XYZ about you to me. That was weirdo. What the hell is that all about? I'd have to try to make up some excuse. I moved. I went through all the trouble of packing up a child, sitting down and having to deal with him emotionally. We got to leave all your friends. We got to leave everything you've known. We're going to have to start all over. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We've got some bad people after us. We moved. And then you made it worse. So I moved again. And you're still, and you're continuing to make it worse. Only this time I said, I'm going to fight you off me because I'm not moving again. And you are in the wrong here. And you need to stop. You need to fucking get control of yourself. You're operating far outside social norms. You're disturbing people. You're making people sick at their stomach. And so it's not that hard to get information. Now, when I repeat something that you guys just said, that comes from a recording. I can't get that. I don't have the ability to get that information. I don't have it. But someone else does. So they get that from you and they give it to me. And they do that for my protection. They do that for my protection. I'm not told how they get it. I'm not told who gave it to them. But they're law enforcement, and they get pissed off every time you guys try to pull a little stunt, and I have some sort of loss. Like the 18th, you wanted me to go see my family on the 18th. You were going to use them to hurt me. You wanted Manford police to hurt me, because you know I respect them. And then this weekend, you wanted my ex-husband to hurt me. Duly noted for the record in our court, Mr. Perry, the criminal case. I told you to stay the fuck away from my family, didn't I? So you didn't. You didn't do it, Mr. Perry. Now you're in a whole lot more trouble than you were before. You want me to mind you? Get a grip on reality. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are? Nobody's picking a fight with y'all. What I said is leave me the fuck alone, didn't I? Leave me the fuck alone. You don't like getting caught, and you're caught more than you've ever been in your lives. Leave me the fuck alone. You don't want my appeal to the Oklahoma Supreme Court. I get that. We all get that. You've made that abundantly clear. Too fucking bad. Grow up and act like men. Face me fair and square in court. Legitimately. And stop acting like a bunch of coward pussies. Scared to death that the truth might come out. Newsflash, it's out. You're caught already. You didn't want me to serve you. I served you. It wasn't easy. You guys threw up every obstacle a person could throw up. And this is my life every day. I got to overcome whatever obstacles you do. Do you know people are starting to, question, she's too smart to be this broke. She shouldn't be broke. He's stealing her money. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. That is a crime. Crime after crime after crime. A lot of racketeering, a lot of RICO Act violations. Duly noted for the record. One after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. You're caught. This isn't the first time we say this. We've said it over and over and over and over and over. It's not new news, it's old news. You want to frame me for a murder. We said that back in 2016. And then again in 17. And then again, over and over. You want my shoe print. Over and over. It's been said over and over and over. Like the ringtone, Richard. There's not one recording of it. Because you guys, let's wait till the dust settles and we'll try again. Only then you talk about it again. So now we don't have just one recording of you. We have two. And when you do what the recordings say, we prove out the recording. I think somebody said that. She just sent 9 pages of phone calls that came into her phone to her attorney. 9 pages. 9 pages. Not 9 phone calls. 9 pages of phone calls within a few days. So you can't say she's crazy when she said you guys were recorded talking about getting her ringtone, and now she's got 9 pages of fucking phone calls coming in that she doesn't know who it is just within a few days. That she just gave to her attorney. 9 pages. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling, Richard? There's like 50 recordings of you talking about that. Getting my shoe print. We got to get her back out on that pole and on the schedule. So I guess yesterday they were talking about somebody, one of your people, You had 6 years to get some information out of her. 6 years you had access to her. She always came away with a whole lot more than you did. You don't know what you're dealing with here. You have no idea. Who trained her how to do that? How does she know who she's working with? Who's getting the information from you and giving it to her? Fabian puzzle. Who got that to me in jail, Mr. Perry? Your name's not on that. It's not some random name. It's Fabian's name, not yours. So you want to use my ex-husband to hurt me? To get me to dinner so you can do something? So, as it so happened, God had a different plan. I got really sick. Really sick. I couldn't move. I was sick. So there was no dinner. There was no dinner. But we all know now, because you guys were recorded, talking to him. And when he was telling y'all, she's not going to make it. All weekend long. All weekend long. You got served. I got you served, Mr. Perry. But we've also noted in our court that you tried very hard to prevent me from serving you. You did things intending to obstruct me from serving you, Mr. Perry. So my guys that you don't know who they are, that get that information from you and give it to me, are going to deal with it in their criminal case, okay? You chose that. That was your choice. Because you've been told, leave me the fuck alone. And you choose not to. And you choose to continue committing crime after crime after crime after crime. So when they arrest you, please remember it was because you went at me. Because this stuff that you're seeing has never happened to you before, has it? It's not happened to you before. I'm a Chief Hall's granddaughter. Did you know that? Chief Hall's granddaughter. He has a legacy. That's not for sale, Perry. She won't mind. We got to get her to mind and take the yellow brick road. That was recorded. That was recorded. Not once. But it's been recorded more than once over the past year. Is that a bribe? You got to subjugate. You got to bribe. You got to do this. You got to do that. Or leave me the fuck alone. You're not cute. You're not impressive. You disgust me. You disgust everybody else too. I told you, stay the fuck away from my family. And I meant all of them. Stay the fuck away from my family. Do not call them. Do not email them. Do not text them. Stay the fuck away from all my family, Mr. Perry. You're trying to isolate me. The McNamara email is something that you've been continuing to try to do. Right? Look at this. Judy's going to be mad. Judy Parker? Is that who you were talking about? Judy's going to be mad. About what? I got sick and didn't go with your little plan. Josh Burson, Mr. Perry's asking me today if you're the leak. Just so you know. Sometimes it's Jim. I don't know which Jim. Jim McGew? Dave's attorney? Z, Ty, Al, Blankenship. I mean, all these people, you ask me if they're my family. Is that a leak? Quit calling them. If you think somebody... You know what I would do? Here's what I would do. Well, I'm a little more, how do you put it, proficient in how I do things. So I'm not going to tell you everything I do, but if I were you and not me, if I thought somebody was a leak, I wouldn't tell them anything anymore. So why are you still calling my family? Huh? I mean, what kind of brains does that? If you honestly think my family's a leak, why the fuck are you continuing to involve them in your little gaslighting, stalking bullshit? Criminal bullshit. It's a crime. You want to false arrest me again to force me to commit a crime, and I'm not going to do it. I've already said that. I won't talk to you. I won't have you did this before. Let's false arrest her and then go in and ask her to lie. Ted, my attorney, they want you to lie. I said, I'm not going to lie. He looked at me like, I don't know what all Ted's been talking to you about, but the way he looked at me that day was like, you got to be shitting me with this. Like he was like, I don't even know how to put this to you. They said they made a terrible mistake. They had a knee-jerk reaction, and they want you to lie. And I was like, no, I just lost my house. My mugshot's smeared everywhere. Absolutely not. Now I have an arrest on my record. So tell them I said, fuck you. So then they hooked me up with a bunch of shrinks. Let's not get her blood test to see if she was poisoned. Forensic evidence, subjective evidence. Let's go with the objective. Get a shrink to say she's crazy. I got interviewed by two, both of them from Texas Tech. All I was actually tested for was competency to stand trial, and I passed both with flying colors. Dr. Russell saw me for a year and a half, for an hour to 2 hours, twice a month. Once or twice we missed it was once a month because our schedules wouldn't, we couldn't get together twice a month, but we did meet once a month. And like I said, an hour or two. She didn't say she's delusional and she needs help. She didn't say she's, we got to put her on a pill. What she said is, he escalates more than you can ignore, didn't she? You try to ignore him, but sometimes he'll escalate more than you can ignore. That is right here. I recorded it. I recorded everything for a couple of reasons. One is I didn't trust anybody. Two is in case she said something that I needed to remind myself of. There's people in your life that contribute to you in a meaningful way, and you want to remember what they said, and sometimes you need to hear them say it. Sometimes you want to hear their voice say it. So I recorded it for that. She's my shrink. So she says here, she just wants him to leave her alone. She's intelligent and articulate. It's the last paragraph. She's intelligent and articulate. She's scared of him. She's scared of him hurting her family. She's scared of him hurting people in her life. And she wants him to leave her alone. She's trying to focus on moving forward. That's what she said. Not she's nutty and we need to put her in, and we need to get her a pill and she's got something. Right here at the very end. But the problem is that they escalate more than you can ignore, and that's what you've got with Charles. He escalates more than you can ignore because he has no life and he's pathetic. So he has nothing better to do than sit around and bother everybody all day and escalate to get attention. I don't do that. Nobody else does that. Why do you do that? Why do you act like that? One of your own people, when I was in Manford, said y'all had a meeting and he said, you got to let her go. You're making problems for everybody else. It's not that hard to do. Let her go. Charles Perry clenched his fist, turned red, threw a little fit. Like a fucking 2-year-old. I've never seen a grown man act like that in my life. It made me sick. I had to leave the room. It made me very uncomfortable. I had to walk out of the room. Who was that? See, I'm not told who it is. Who is it? Stop making everybody uncomfortable with your little baby act, little drama queen act. Little, I'm entitled. Nope, you're not. You comply with the law. Or don't complain when you get told on. You act like a grown-ass man. Because everybody gets rejected and everybody else moves on. They find fulfillment through somebody who feels the same way. I don't feel like you, I don't feel anything for you, but disgust. You ick me out. You're gross. You're a gross piece of trash, Mr. Perry. You went into court more than once and lied. Where's the political vendetta? Why the hell would I need to, I'm very vocal. If I'm pissed about something, everybody knows it. Everybody knows exactly what I'm pissed about and just how pissed off I am. And everything, Mr. Perry, was about your stalking. Never did I say I don't like his pro-life thing, and I don't like this, and I don't like... Even a reporter you pissed off will not talk to you again. Hit her desk 5-6 times. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Everything I've gone through, the whole thing, her whole case, everything I find says leave me alone. Nothing anywhere about not wanting him to get elected. It looks like she helped him get elected. So he lied to me, and I will not take his phone calls anymore. You're not fooling anybody. Stop insulting everybody else's intelligence, sir. There's no political vendetta. You're not worth one. You have the smallest district in the state of Texas. One state. I didn't do legislation in Texas, Mr. Perry. I did legislation federally. I did some in New Mexico 2 years after the Facebook messages where I'm telling my friends he's stalking me. And I did that because there was some family involvement. My family didn't live in Lubbock, did they? Or Texas. I think I asked you and John about it and didn't get a response, so I didn't pursue anything. If you want to pass a law, if you want to lobby, you call everybody. You call everybody to get somebody to sponsor the bill in New Mexico, anti-child abuse bill. It was protecting children in faith-based rehab facilities, because if it's faith-based, it's a church, they have zero oversight. Kids are getting abused. Kids are getting, Tierra Blanca Ranch had a fatality because nobody's checking on them. They're exempt from all of that. And the same thing happened at Teen Challenge. So that was at my parents' thing. And it was 2 years after I'm telling my friends he's stalking me. So, in order to get any traction with that, you think I just called one guy? Fuck no. I called all kinds of people. I called the governor's office. I called CPS. The CPS, first of all, that was mostly for inquiry purposes. I talked to people. What's the situation now that your laws would allow no oversight of children in your state? That you ended up with a dead body of a child at a faith-based rehab program, and that you ended up with a bunch of kids up in northern New Mexico pumping out sewer with no protective clothing, eating food that's moldy, not getting adequate education or medical care. What in the fuck is wrong with your state? And they all said the same thing. It's a church. They're exempt. I said, no, no, no. We can't have, what, you got some pedophile gets out of jail, out of prison? He can go open a church camp and have kids come and work on private donations and rape the shit out of them and tell their parents, you can't talk to your kid. It's part of the healing. So that way the kids can't tell mom and dad. Let me tell you, Teen Challenge cut the communication off between parents and kids for that reason. For that reason. And I was talking to a deputy. She said, that is not okay. I don't care what they say they're trying to do. It is not okay. So, as a result of that CPS action, they shut the men's facility down, and some further investigations were done on the women's. That was in New Mexico, and it was done 2 years after. It was in 2012, I believe, 2013, and 2014. The bill actually finally hit committee in 2014. I was long gone from Texas. I called a lot of people to find a sponsor. Do you understand me? You don't ask two people, what do you think about this, and then nothing else happens. If you intend to try to make a change in law, Mr. Perry. I was putting feelers out. I was kind of seeing if y'all had heard anything, or if you knew there was a problem. Neither you nor John Frullo responded at all. So I let it go. And, my focus was New Mexico. Because I'm talking to those kids that my parents hurt. And I'm having to sit there and listen to them cry. It wasn't fun for me. I'm sitting there having to apologize for my family, what my family did to them. It wasn't fun for me. So we, they'd already taken my child away too. You're abusing other people's kids, and then you just got custody of my son, and there's no abuse of no abuse was even alleged. The decision of the judge was you can't meet his needs. You had to send him to a facility, so you could not meet his needs, and then therefore you lose custody. It was not a legal thing either. But then we have a witness that says Charles Perry likes to troll women. He's a stalker, serial stalker. And he likes to put cameras in their homes and broadcast them all over the dark web and make money. He sells watch time. When they're not home, he'll buy the landlord, the maintenance guy, or a locksmith and get in and have these cameras installed. Sells watch time, rakes it in, gets them fired. He said he's a sexual sadist. He gets gratification, hurting women, subjugation. You and your little, backwards hillbilly, you got some mental problems. That's all I can say. We don't act like that now. We do not act like that. It's called misogyny. It's called gender bias. It's called discrimination. We don't do it. You need to get up with the times, sir. Get off Noah's Ark. So, anyways, he said he likes to get them fired from their job. Then he hacks them so he can see where they're trying to make money. He makes sure they don't make money. Then they starve to death, basically. They lose their house. Then he has the ex take the kids away because now they're unfit. He did that to them. They didn't do anything wrong. He did that to them intentionally. Subjugation. He likes getting women hysterical, the witness says, so he can go rub one out. And I'm quoting a witness. So he goes, did you do that to Cindy? And my guy goes, yeah, he did. He used her parents, not her ex-husband. That doesn't mean he didn't try. We stopped it. We put a stop to it because he did try. So, he only got the older one, not the younger one. And the guy said, I'm glad somebody finally making him stop. I'm sick of sleeping with one eye open. I wish he hadn't told me that he did that. I guess you were, going looking for a handout for money to invest in your company. You launder money too, sir? Listen, you don't like getting caught, but you can't tell. Because when you fuck with me, that's all that happens. You're not going to get a date with me. There's no way. I won't even fucking call you. 8 years and you can't tell. I just don't like you. You're not my cup of tea. You're a job, sir. My job was to get you elected, and that was it. You take this way further than anybody thought you would. But you know what? I'm bait, and I'm fine with being bait. Because you've been caught in your crime more than ever in your life. You've been caught in your crime more than ever in your life. When you guys fuck with me, you get caught more than ever in your lives. When you fuck with me, you get caught more than ever in your lives. Do you not understand words, grown-up words, normal people, everybody else can understand and process? That you just keep doing the same thing day after day after day after day. Desired outcomes. Was that your desired outcome long ago? Huh? I mean, come on. Everybody's confused. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Why are we doing the same thing every day that gets the same results? Are we insane? Do you see this? Dated in 2014. I don't want a scandal. I just want to be left alone. I just want the weirdo to leave me the fuck alone. Look at this. That's what domestic violence is defined as, Mr. Perry. Peeping is a crime, not a date, weirdo. That's what it is in Oklahoma. It's a felony. That's somebody writing a statement for me that you would have people pull up and do that. And you know what? It upset everybody that lived there. She said she called Lucky Miller 3 times. She didn't tell me before she did it. She told me after, and I didn't ask her to do it. She said, I called Lucky and asked him to increase patrol around the parking lot because this is weirdo. I've lived here 10 years. I've never seen this happen before. It's making me very uncomfortable. I can't imagine how uncomfortable it must make you. So I called Chief Miller and asked him to increase patrol through here. And then it kept happening, so she called again. And then it kept happening, so she called again. And then he came over. There was a death investigation. So she went over and said, listen, I think she's in danger, Lucky. You need to take this seriously. And he said, I know that. We are. But Laura, I can't do anything without a tag. Get me a tag number. If you can get me a tag, get me a tag. And then he was murdered. Yeah, that was convenient for you, wasn't it? And the guy that took my report after you guys vandalized my car, you guys always get a key to my car. You pay the dealer. He does the same thing with vehicles. He'll pay the dealer and get a key, and he can just get in your car and drive it all over town while you're asleep. And he knows you're sleeping, and when you go to sleep and when you wake up, because he's got cameras in your house. Yeah, it's creepy, isn't it? So no, I'm not going to subjugate. I'm not going to mind you. You are off your nut. Who the fuck do you think you are? You need to remember who it is you're talking to when you guys start threatening and threatening and threatening and threatening and threatening and she's gonna subjugate. But you get caught when you attack me. You're not getting that. It just goes right over your head, doesn't it? You're just not all there, are ya? Few bricks shy of a load, because everybody else can see it. We're all laughing at you. They don't get the results here. When you fuck with Cynthia, you get told on and caught because she's got help. They're like schizophrenic. They act like it's just her. And then until everybody starts complimenting her. Wow, yeah, she's a miracle worker, man. She's like a fucking superhero to be able to do all that. No, oh, well, it's not her. She's got help. Right. I do. That's who you're pissing off. That's who you're pissing off. So this guy's like, point out for me on Mike Neely where the injuries are that look like he was in a fight. That's her kid. He was in a fight. It's not even a fight. Really, it was a scuffle. He was hit 3-4 times. Beer in his hand did not even slosh out. Mike Neely has nothing on him. Red swollen right hand, the arrest report says. Red swollen right hand. But there's a needle in it from an IV. Might that be what caused the red swollen? I'm thinking probably. You know, I'm not retarded. My IQ's pretty high. So that's how I think. And when somebody's stupid, it irritates the fuck out of me. I can't handle it. I'm not a special ed teacher. There are certain people that are just gifted with slow. I'm not. I really don't have any tolerance for it at all. I don't. You're getting on my last nerve. I'm sorry if that offends you. It's too fucking bad. Maybe you need to keep up with everybody else. People are not dumb. And it insults their intelligence when you lie to them and act like you think they believe you. Sometimes they'll tell you they do, so you'll shut up and go away because you're wasting their time. You're wasting everybody's time. So the little thing, the little bullshit you guys had planned this weekend, you want to isolate me, you want to use my family to hurt me and all that, but we've said that. And we've said it again and again and again and again and again and again. And I told you, stay the fuck away from my family. You guys don't want an appeal. You're scared of me in court. If I was stupid, you wouldn't be, right? I'm not an attorney, not been to law school. So I'm doing something right. Or you wouldn't be scared to have a hearing. You'd act like a bunch of grown-ass men and face me like men instead of a bunch of little coward pussies where you go into these backdoor meetings and you get everything tossed out and I'm not even there. It's my lawsuit. I have the burden of proof on me. I have all the evidence filed. Whatever I need to file, I can. But I need to be able to file it for a hearing and then present it to a judge like normal people do in a normal hearing. And there's not been anything legal about what you guys have done. And impeding my ability to get something filed or served, through the mail thing that we have to do, my guys are going to charge you with a crime for that. That's your choice. You made that choice for you. Because I've told you that, and told you that, and told you that, and told you that, and told you that. And I'm sure you can live with your choices. And it is irritating the shit out of us that you continue in your car. You get up every morning, and you just run around in circles like a motherfucking dog chasing your tail. And it's my fault when you get caught. You're running in circles, so no, it's your fault. You chose that. You're not going anywhere with this. You are pissing everybody the fuck off. People don't like watching one person bully another. It's not that hard to get information because you can't figure out how people think. They don't like bullies. It's called empathy. You don't have any, do you? So you don't ever factor that into anything, do you? It's not that hard to get information. It gets easier by the day. The more Charles invades my privacy, the more drama and loss he causes me. Or Mike Neely, every day he sits in jail. You want to take my money? Do it. I dare you. Do it, I dare you. And you won't like how that works out for you. You want to make it difficult for me to fight you in court? Take my money, I dare you. You can't learn from the past what happens when you do that? Keep doing what you're doing. Just keep it up. That's stupid. You can't learn from the past. When you fuck with me, you get caught and nothing else happens. Then, you deserve whatever it is you get out of doing the same thing you do day after day after day after day. Perry, there's no fucking way you and I are in a couple relationship. We're not together. Peeping is not a date, it's a crime, dumbass. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Jeff Epstein disgusted even prisoners. That's why everybody thinks he was murdered. They put him in with a police officer, by the way. They put him in with a cop. He only had cameras in his own house. How much worse is it going to be for you, having cameras on women and children and exploiting us all over the net, all over the world? So don't say you didn't want the attention. Absolutely, you wanted the attention. So, that's what he said. Point out for me, Mr. Neely, where are the injuries that look like he was in a fight? How the fuck do you beat someone to death when you're drugged and unconscious and in respiratory distress and end up with nothing on you? And the red swollen right hand had an IV in it, a needle. That's why it's red and swollen. Please stop insulting everybody's intelligence. You're pissing people off with that. So, the same thing in the arrest report. Anybody can read the arrest report. Same thing. He had no injuries on him but a red swollen right hand. That had an IV in it. Detective Fife, how much money did you get for doing that shit to Mr. Neely? You guys had 3 options in how to react. He had a busted nose and a lip from a second incident, a second event. When the hotel guy came in and found these 2 men, he picked Mike up off Lucky and threw him face first into the floor and busted his face. There was no injury. You can't beat someone to death and have no injuries. I'm sorry, that's not possible. If he did that, he did something no man has ever done on the planet, ever. And you guys had 3 options on how to react. Dismissive, ignore it, not say anything, not do anything. Or attack me. Now you look guilty. Coercion. Let's take all her money. She's gonna do what we say. She's gonna mind us, goddammit. Am I? But what happens when you guys try to make me mind you? You're just not getting it. You guys are just very slow. Very, 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 very slow. Every time you try to make me mind you, what happens? You get caught. How'd she find out? Oh my lord, how'd she know? Who's talking? How'd she find out? Who are these guys helping her? We gotta find out. How'd she know? We are seeing things we've never seen before. How did she find out? Get the fucking hay out your mouth and talk right. And get out of Noah's Ark and keep up with the times. We don't behave like this anymore. Act right. You're outside social norms and you're making people uncomfortable. Charles, you do not have my permission to contact me or my family or my friends. Everybody's sick of it. You do not have my permission to get into my money. You do not have my permission to peep or hack or contact me at all. You don't have my consent, sir. You're breaking the law. And when you break the law, when you come at me, you get told on more. So what you guys do is your other option, when I said, yep, they did. They killed Lucky and Mike. They killed Lucky, tried to kill Mike. They just like they tried to kill me, poison. And then when that didn't work, they do the false arrest. It's twice now, Mr. Perry. Once you see a pattern, you can't unsee it, sir. You guys are slow. I'm gonna tell you something. It irritates the fuck out of me that you're slow. And you're insulting everybody else's intelligence. And you think that your lie is working. It isn't working. It's pissing everybody off. Leave me the fuck alone, bitch. You have no chance of a date with me. You're disgusting. Where's your wife when you betray her? Where's Jacqueline, your wife, when you betray her? You need to be accountable for your time. And stop sitting around on your fat, lazy, disgusting ass, perverting around, bothering my family with your family's sicko problems. I'm sorry you were abused as a kid. Don't bother me with it. Go to a shrink. I'm not a special ed teacher, and I'm not a shrink. You go to your pastor, you go to your wife, and you go to a doctor. If you got $35 million to buy a cover-up with, which you didn't get, you got the money to pay a doctor. Don't bother me with that shit. Do you understand? I don't want to be the victim of your crime anymore. You get the fuck out of my life. You are a sick son of a bitch. These guys helping me are gonna put you in jail because everybody that was around here that should have done it before Lucky was murdered fucked up. So they want that for themselves. That's fine. They can have that. Everybody has choices. We can all live with them. What you could have done for Mike is say, yeah, Mike has nothing on him. There's no way he could have done that. There's no fucking way he could have done that. We backed the blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out who did do it because we don't want that suspicion on us. There is some reasons why there could be. I can see why she would say that. She was suing us. Robertson has employees staying right next to me. Perry had just been recorded threatening my vehicle. 4 accidents in 2 years. He hasn't had 4 accidents in 2 years. I've had 4 people hit me in 2 years. And that now was starting to look funny. So they got recorded to, have someone pull out in front of her and she hits them. Yeah, that won't be suspicious either. And by the way, you're caught. If I'm saying it, if there's an email about it, there's a recording of you talking about it first. See, that's the part that you're not getting that is irritating the shit out of everybody. Come on now. When I say it, listen to the words I'm saying. I'm going to speak slowly for y'all. When I say it before you do it, or there's an email that I say police recording, the police recording of Charles, Dave, Josh, Joe, and Matt, of them talking about taking my car, or having someone hit me, or having someone pull in front of me, or lying in court of law, or trying to prevent me from an appeal, or trying to arrange another false arrest to shut me up and subjugate me. That means they were recorded saying those words. Somebody recorded them talking about it first. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm tired of repeating the same thing over and over and over and over. Charles, fuck you. Get off me. You're making me feel raped. Get away from me. Go away. Get away from me. Nobody's broken into your home and then trying to force you to leave your house. So don't fucking do that to me. You need to remember who it is you're talking to, because nobody's caught your crime more than we have. No one that you know. Not one person on the planet has caught your crime more than we have. And the 40 guys helping me, I can't do it by myself. There are 40 guys helping me. They're even better at it than I am, and I'm pretty fucking good. I am pretty fucking good. Because you had 6 years to come out of a strip club with information. And you didn't, but I did. Mickey James, Terry Wagner, Pinto. On and on and on and on. You're caught over and over and over and over. And once I say it, you're caught, Richard. 50 more conversations about getting my ringtone aren't really helping you, sir. I don't know who the fuck you are. But I know this. Your name comes up a lot, and the ringtone comes up a lot with your name, as does my shoe print. I gotta get her shoe print. Nope, you don't need my shoe print, Richard. Because you were recorded talking about it in this whole murder frame-up thingy. I don't kill people. Do you really think that I would sacrifice so much for Officer Neely if I was that kind of person? That I just kill? I have a motive to kill Perry. My nightmares would end. Would they not end if I killed Perry? He's still fine. Not a hair on his head is hurt. He's been putting me through this for a decade. He's fine. Not a hair on his head hurt. If I had a reason to kill somebody, it would be him, Richard. So somebody pointed out to you that since I've been in Oklahoma, it's hard to get me talking to somebody more than about 10, 15 minutes. So how do I get mad enough at somebody to do this? Monica didn't like me. That didn't mean I didn't like her. She was a little mature. Everybody knows Monica and I butt heads at work. I actually didn't butt heads with her. She butt heads with me. She was jealous of me. She, went on stage and flipped me off. I didn't give a shit. She's a 20-year-old little girl. You really think I care what Monica thinks? Why would I care what Monica thinks? Come on with that. I thought Monica was beautiful on the pole. I thought she did a great job. And other than that, I really had nothing to do with her. Nothing at all. I don't, in case you missed it, I don't really sit around, wringing my hands about what people think about me. I don't give a shit. There's a certain crowd that I want to please. I'm pleasing that crowd just fine. Those are the guys helping me. Everybody else can, take it or leave it. I don't care. I really don't. The people that have helped me have been there for me through this whole thing when nobody else would. They stepped up and they have fought for me when nobody else would. That's the crowd I want to please. I want to be able to look at victims and say, you're safe now. We got the bad guy. He won't hurt you again. That's the crowd I want to please. It isn't you. It isn't little girls in a strip club. Do you understand? It's not corrupt cops. It's none of that. You want me pulled over. You want this. You want that. Duly noted over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Perry, you're caught. Please fucking remember who it is you're talking to, sir. When you start threatening me with the next thing you're going to do, and the next thing you're going to do, and the next thing you're going to do. Yeah, we know. You've already said it. This is the one of the few people in Lubbock that knew. Guess what? Judge Parker. Is Judge Parker on something to do with me? Is Judy Parker? Listen, Judy Parker and I were friends, Mr. Perry. So was Mark Harker and I. She never heard any problems with you at all, because only a few close friends knew. I didn't go run into the media with it. That, you don't make up a stalker story in 2011, keep your mouth shut about it until 2014, move twice, then say something. If you have a political vendetta. You went into court and you bold-faced lied. So how many lies have you told Judge Parker under oath? You alleged there's a false police report filed, and it was because of a political vendetta. And yet here's all this stuff that has nothing to do with... Cindy told me she didn't like Perry because he's pro-life. I was pro-life too, bitch. Do you have Alzheimer's? I supported your campaign, bitch. Get a grip on reality. So what is the fucking issue? Because as you can see, I'm very vocal. If I'm pissed, you're going to know it. There's going to be emails about it. There's going to be texts about it. There's going to be something somewhere. And there's nothing. You knew that was a lie. Now you better go in and talk to Judy Parker and you tell her the fucking truth. And nobody knows if it was a false police report or not, because there was no final determination made. You know why? Because you ruined my evidence. Mr. Powell didn't collect it, and you obstructed a TPD from collecting it. The video. You know what should have happened? I should have got the videos from Lady Godiva's, sit down with the detective, and show the detective, look, here's what happened. Here's what happened. And a blood test. Let's see, did he really give me arsenic? Gave me something that made me sick. I'm asking him about it in text. There's no conversation here about pro-life or gun rights or, I don't like, people who are against gay marriage, all that. Nothing like that. What are you poisoning with? Get your hands out of my crotch. What are you giving me? Quit threatening me. Who's this black SUV following me around? That's the conversation. Stalking, harassment, assault, and battery. Crime after crime after crime after crime. Nothing political. You are accountable, sir, for what you do. Whether you want to like it, whether you like that or not, whether you think you should be or not, get off your high horse. You are. You put your pants on one leg at a time like everybody else. Go down the strip in Vegas and ask any of those people if they give a shit who you are. They don't. You don't matter. Your victims matter. The Millers matter. The Neelys matter. I matter. You do not. You're a typical grandiose thinking I'm entitled serial killer, aren't you? Get off your high horse. You don't matter. You never did. You are blessed to get elected, and you should have taken that very seriously and conducted yourself with some dignity and class and worked very hard for the people that elected you and left me the fuck alone. Because that's all you were asked to do. The first time I took you to court, there was no money asked for. Just, judge, make him leave me the fuck alone. And you shouldn't have to sue somebody to get them to leave you the fuck alone, should ya? There's something wrong with you. Something bad wrong with all of you. That you would want to attack a woman and her kids. Any woman, all women, or a police officer. And when you can see one has been falsely accused of a murder, step up and say, okay, first of all, we don't want that suspicion on us. Second of all, anyone can see he doesn't look like he was in a fight. So let's find out who did this. Somebody did it, and it wasn't us. And we don't want it to even look like us. We don't want any suspicion on us at all. Instead, you do witness tampering, and let's throw her in jail and shut her up. Let's try to kill her and get away with it and shut her up. How can we shut her up? How can we keep stuff from going through in court like it's supposed to go through legally? Over and over you're recorded, Mr. Powell. Over and over and over, Ms. Parker, Judge Parker. They're recorded. Yeah, you don't want that popping up somewhere else, do you? I'm telling you now they exist, or I wouldn't be able to, there wouldn't be 33,000 fucking emails about it. Would there? Ms. Judge Parker, this is a job for me. I can't be paid right now because they're always in my bank account. I've asked them to leave me alone. I moved twice. Ask Cheryl. She saw what happened. This is what they're trying to do all over again. It didn't work out for them the first time because there was no final determination made to see if it was a false police report or not. 21st, I filed the report. 29th, I'm arrested. Never talked to a cop. Didn't go over the video with a cop. There was no investigation, nor was there one in Manford on my car vandalism, because you killed the chief 6 days after I filed the vandalism report. Didn't you? And like you did me, when he didn't die, when I didn't die, then you guys just arrange a false arrest. How the jury see him guilty looking like that? Listen, you're gonna leave me the fuck alone. This is the 2nd of March, 2020. I'm telling the Florida State's attorney he didn't do it. He was drugged. And he didn't get a full tox panel until after. He's at the hospital. Well, the Narcan changed the chemical composition of his body, of his blood. Because he's given an opioid from someone. Lucky didn't give it to him. There was only 2 people in that room. He's passed out. The chemical composition of the opioids caused him to pass out and go into respiratory distress. He was dying. So when the EMTs get there, and make a medical determination. This man has been overdosed. We're not treating him for being knocked out in a fight. We're treating him for being overdosed. They give him Narcan. He comes to. That means the chemical composition in his body changed. So taking a blood test after that is not helpful, is it? That's a Brady violation, isn't it, Mr. Powell? I had the same thing. Nobody tested my blood. Right, Mr. Powell? That's a Brady violation. They tried to kill me. You helped cover it up. There's a thing called accessory after the fact. My guys will get it if TPD didn't want to. And if had they gotten you guys on obstruction and destroying my evidence and all of that shit, Lucky Miller would be alive right now. How did my police report even get over there? By law, you have to file a police report. So had there been a determination made at TPD and at Manfred Police, then I would have, and it came to be that it was indeed you that did that to me, then I'm going to go to court and get a protective order. Don't you think it's wise to wait until the police finish investigating before you just run into court waving a bunch of papers going, I think he did it? Don't you think it's better to wait until they look into it first and either show that you confirm or rule you out? I mean, fuck you with this. You guys are stupid. And it's irritating everybody. I said, leave me the fuck alone. Other men don't act like you. It didn't occur to you? Maybe there's a reason for that? They can get a date and you cannot. You will never get a date with me, ever. It has been 8 years. You can't figure that out by now? Mr. Perry, I'm not a special ed teacher, and it's irritating me that you bother me with this. Get your shit off me. Get it off me. I don't want to deal with it. It's not my responsibility. It's Jacqueline's responsibility, not mine. Don't bother me with it. Do not bother me with it. My job was supposed to be done after you got elected. Leave me the fuck alone. You just want to do another version of the McNamara email. This is where it confirms he was drugged. In May, I said it before. But why? You want to harass me and cause financial loss and cause this. So if I'm working for Uber Eats and I need to get out and make some money and I turn on the Uber Eats app and it won't work because Perry's jamming it up, am I going to make money? No, I'm not. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. It's going to piss everybody off. Right? So why are you doing that, Mr. Perry? Then it's going to make me serving documents a little bit hard, don't you think? If you're jamming up my Uber Eats app, I can't make money. That kind of confirms our witness statement, does it not? Get the fuck out of my phone. Get out of my life. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody needs to mind you or take your yellow brick road. What planet do you live on? Your crime gets caught when you fuck with me. Your crime gets caught when you fuck with me. Your crime gets caught when you fuck with me. Judge Parker, I didn't tell anybody for 4 years that I was being stalked because I didn't want to be a scandal. I moved twice to get away from them. They're provoking. It's called entrapment. It's called coercion. All I asked was to be left alone. That's it. So I don't know what they go into your courtroom and tell you, but you better start demanding the truth. Where are you spending your time, Perry? I want details where you spending your time because it's not where he says. It's not doing the right thing. He won't leave me alone. He sits around on his fat, lazy ass, perverting around, peeping on women. And if my guys can prove that in their court, then you might want to make them do it in yours too, so that it doesn't embarrass you later. There's a reason in the civil cases I've not been allowed in court. I'm not a lawyer. I can read. I can learn. But in a lot of circles, that gave me a lot of credibility. If she was stupid and there was no basis to her claims, they'd let her in. Why not? But the thing is, she's not stupid, and there is something to her claims, or they'd let her in. It wouldn't be. There's 5 attorneys. They're seasoned, not brand new out of school, and she's not been to law school. So if they're not letting her in court, something's wrong. Everybody else can put that together. Surely you can too. So you want to, and this maybe was lucky. I don't know. I'm not told. We're getting tired of being asked to harass Cynthia. This was a cop. We're getting tired of being asked to harass Cynthia for Mr. Perry. They claimed that they wanted to get her on harassment. Well, it didn't take too long. We see it was the other way around. Didn't take too long at all. Police can usually figure shit out pretty quickly, Charles. Then you gotta buy them, right? Can I just be candid with you? We're doing what she says, but I just need a lie. How much do you? I'll make it worth your while. How much is it? How much do you want me to pay you? That's been recorded a time or two. I think one time somebody told you no. I think you've already paid out $25 million, sir, and you didn't get a cover up. So I think your best bet is leave her the fuck alone. Weren't you told that once? Not everybody's dumb like you. So this is the yep, that's Mickey James. That's one of your I know a lot. I didn't know this guy from Adam. You know a lot? What do you mean you know a lot? Who the fuck are you? He signed a letter of an NDA. This is a contact within the forum state of Oklahoma. I didn't know this guy came to my work. Started talking to me about Charles Perry. He said he was retired DEA and a firearms instructor. Can I take you shooting? Oh yeah, because we just recorded Charles talking about trying to frame me for a murder, and the murder was committed with a gun, and I've never shot a gun in my life. So I suppose you would need to take me shooting. So you can get my fingerprint. You got the murder weapon? You want me to put my fingerprints on it for you, and then you're gonna throw it in my trunk, or what are you gonna do here, Mickey? I was like, yeah, I don't think so. Thanks though. I don't really. That's just not my thing. I don't care if other people get guns. I don't want one. Never have had one. Never held one. Never shot one. Not in my life. Richard, write that down. I think I've said it before, Richard. So I don't talk to people here. There's a reason for that. Not for very long. Not for very long at all. If it's somebody I just met, do I want you guys to go start harassing them? See if you can get her to say this. See if you can get her to say that, like you do to my family. And then if I find out you think they slipped up and you start threatening them, that's why I've stayed away from my family, for the most part. My ex-husband came up here this weekend to spend time with me. He goes, "You guys fuck off. Don't you ever call him again. Don't you ever fucking call my ex-husband again. You leave us alone. That is none of your business. It doesn't concern you. My ex-husband and I are friends, and that's for our son's sake and for, why not be friends? It's nothing more than that, but that's none of your business, is it? I can date whoever I want. I can go out I can be friends with whoever I want. That doesn't concern you. This is a free country. Fuck off. Don't you again call somebody I know and start telling them what they need to ask me about or what they need to say to me. It doesn't work. It pisses everybody off. And then you get caught more. I mean, how many times you got to get 33,000 emails that are basically I typed up a recording I heard? I mean, what the hell? Golly, the slow is just fucking driving us insane. Who the hell is this stupid? This is the poison they gave me. Once you've got a pattern, you see a pattern, you can't unsee it. I'm writing the U.S. attorney. After 2 policemen come in and tell me in August 2015. Remember, my false arrest was in January 2016. This is well before that. Charles Perry called us and wanted us to just find some way to arrest you. That guy's a fucking asshole. I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. We told him no. But that doesn't mean he won't find a dick that won't do it. Probably will, so watch everything you do. So I turn around and write the U.S. attorney a letter. He's using law enforcement to harass me. Duly noted for the record. Right then, Perry. Right then. It's noted for the record. Right then. When I sent a letter to the U.S. attorney through the United States Postal Service, and it's signed for, they got it. Right then. It was noted for the record, sir. This has been filed in all 3 civil suits, Judge Parker. You and I were friends, Judge Parker. I never mentioned anything to do with Charles to you, did I? Cheryl knew. You didn't have a clue, did ya? I was trying to be discreet about his problem. Stalking problem. There's nothing ever anywhere. Cheryl's not talking about, oh yeah, she didn't like his politics. She's not saying that, is she? She's saying it was weird. His secretary kept showing up where we were. And then he came looking for her one time when she didn't make it. There's nothing political about it. Now, it's election time again, so for him it might be political. I know Mr. Powell calls up here all the time. How could we shut her up? Because he's recorded doing it. How could we shut her up? You only want me to shut up if I'm telling the truth. Otherwise, you'd face me like a fucking group of men in court. Man to man. Isn't that how you do, a duel? Legitimate, legal disagreement, dispute in a civil court case. I sued you guys a long fucking time ago. You did something illegal to get it tossed out. I wasn't in the courtroom. It's my suit. I have the burden of proof on me. And you didn't like the truth. You didn't want me to go in there and say, this text from Mickey James is evidence of a contact within the forum state of Oklahoma, as is the recording of Pinto, as are the texts from Terry Wagner. On and on and on and on. Because if I'd done that, there's jurisdiction right there. Judge Parker. So, I've been through hell. I didn't pick a fight with these men. They picked one with me. And they have 40 police officers helping me. There's no way I could do that by myself. There's no possible way. This harassment email, this was from a long time ago. This is what they planned when I was in jail for the first one. He's got to send you home, harass the shit out of you, do things like have your car hit 4 times in 2 years. And then when you complain about it, he'll say you're harassing him. About the same time, Justice Scalia dies. He was in West Texas when you guys planned that. And he died. And William O. Ritchie, who's a former murder cop from D.C., says they didn't follow protocol like they would have if he had died in D.C. Something's funky going over there in West Texas. So now the suspicion is on Texas Rangers, too. That is also not my problem. Stop asking everyone else to deal with your problem. You made a choice. You're grown men. You live with it. No one else owes you a lie. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you a lie. And I've been threatened with this and that. No, whoa, all kinds of threats. If I won't lie. If I won't subjugate. Ain't she gonna mind? Again, we don't live in covered wagon days anymore, sir. We don't. That's misogyny. And it's frankly weirdo. It's just fucking weirdo. So, you're making people sick at their stomach with that. Do you understand? Everybody's sick of it. So that's why it's not that hard to get information when you're making people are very uncomfortable with what you're doing and saying. That's the Fabian puzzle. I can't get that to myself in jail. Somebody got that to me. Because I got in jail. Sadness and boo. Boo is fear. Sadness is sad. That's what you bring with you. All of you. Charles, you're the selfish little butt-in that doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, Fabian and Hope intersect, don't they? That's what matters. I didn't get that at some random time in my life. I got it when you had me illegally incarcerated. I got it in jail. What else was in that book that I didn't highlight? See, if somebody's that kind of power to get that to me in jail, boo is a private joke between one of those cops and I. We've known each other a lot longer than I knew you. You understand? So, if I'm crazy, explain how I got that. That's pretty fucking power. There's a lot of power. I could do that. It's not some random name. It's Fabian's name. I had just talked to Dave about Fabian. Why don't you like Charles? Well, he's a weirdo, first of all. And the whole Fabian thing. The way he treated Fabian. The hurt I saw in Fabian's eyes. When he lied to him. And he is butting in. He's a married man. What's he even talking to Fabian at all for? He's a married fucking man. Go be with your wife. Because you got a lot of explaining to do to her. I think you owe her more than that. To call somebody that I would want in my life and fucking threaten and harass him. And lie to him. And put a camera in my house and make it believe that we have a thing. We don't have a thing, sir. A 1-year-old little girl can do that. Pretend. Except you're sick. You're a sick old man. You need to be in a hospital. So, or jail. Better. Believe me, we all ask these guys helping me, please hurry the fuck up and get them. We're so sick of this. Please hurry the fuck up. The more you do, the more they get, they have a strategy and a system in place, and we don't get to make those calls, but believe me, we wish we could. Anyways, so I'm telling David, I don't want Charles in my life. I think I made it clear I wanted Fabian. He's butting it. Charles is just a butt-in. He's just a wannabe. And he said, Fabian doesn't want you. And I said, well, I have to hear that from Fabian. He's a grown-ass man. You're not his spokesperson. Get the fuck out of my face with this. And he goes, well, actually, he wants to just fuck you. And I go, well, then let us fuck and be done with it. Y'all are, what the hell what are you doing? Actually, he and Charles fought over you for months. It's not a decision between Fabian and Charles. That's a decision between me and Fabian. So, get Charles to butt out. He needs to go be having dinner with his wife and his family and go seeing constituents and go bother, go over there and bother his own family and stop bothering mine. Don't contact him again, ever. Don't contact my ex-husband again, ever. None of you. None of you. You leave my ex-husband and my son, both my sons. You leave Craig and Dana. You leave Corky. You leave Kay. You leave Jill. You leave Dixie and Sharon the fuck alone. Do you understand me? You contact them again at all in any way, shape, or form, or me, I promise you it will be another charge, and you will wish you were dead. You will wish, I should reword that. I feel like that's a little harsh. You will wish you hadn't done that. My guys will get you. You commit fraud in court again. You try to take my money so I can't serve something, on time or at all, or meet a court deadline, or meet a legal requirement. Mr. Perry, I promise, you wish you hadn't done that. How many times were you caught before you met me, and how many after? And when you type in my phone, I can. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because then the very next question out of your mouth is, who told? Was it this person? Was it that person? Have I ever answered that question? I have. I'm not told who told. And yet you ask it. Like, I'll say that and he'll ask it in 5 minutes. He'll start typing in my phone again. Was it this person with this? I just said, I'm not told that. And I don't give a shit about you at all. Get out of my phone. You're asking me like you think I want to help you. I don't want to help you. I want to help you go to jail. I want to help you stop. Because you hurt a lot of people. And we're all tired of it. And you're making everybody feel disturbed and uncomfortable and creeped out by you. Leave us the fuck alone. Leave us the fuck alone. You don't have a choice. It is the law. Look at this right here. January 2016, what does that say? A false arrest or killing me isn't going to vindicate him from stalking allegations. It wasn't then and it won't now. I get it, Mr. Powell. You're all desperate. Look at this. Who's his other victims? You want to know who else was talking? Who coaxed Mike to Pensacola? Because you guys premeditated that murder. Somebody had to get him there. That's evidence you premeditated. That was the other thing I was waiting for Mitchell and Myers to ask me about. They didn't. Now they're in a jam with you more than they know. They won't know until it's probably too late. All you had to do is comply with the law and go be normal and leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. This is the threat to my car, Judge Parker. He was recorded. This came from a recording, Judge Parker. And then my car was vandalized like crazy. Somebody stuck a hole in my radiator hose. Somebody drained all the oil out because somebody has a key to my car illegally. They shouldn't have one, and they do. They have cameras in my house illegally. They shouldn't, but they do. Voyeurism is creepy, Charles. It's not a date. It's a turnoff. Other guys don't act like you so they can get a real date with the real person, and you can't. Where's Jackie when you do this? You need her to sit right next to you all the time, so you don't have the opportunity to peep and hack women that don't like you and betray her. That's what you need. You disgust everybody. We're sick of you. How many times were you guys caught before you met me? How many after? This was recorded, Perry. And then you vandalize my car. And then you wreck it. You throw a brick at it. And I'm telling Officer Neely, I get my car threatened every fucking day because they want to get out of the lawsuit. That didn't mean that you did this, but that's the background here. I have to tell you, and then you make the determination, rule them out or confirm it. They did it or not. Robertson has this guy staying right here. He's one of the defendants named in my lawsuit. And at that point, I'm sure he would have loved to do that, except you tried to kill him, and when he didn't die, you have him illegally detained. And you don't back the blue. You'll attack a cop if he's in your way. If a police officer is in your way, you'll attack him. You have a plan. You're a sociopath. But that's the problem, is you guys are sociopaths and you're void of human emotions. So you don't even understand empathy at all, do you? Let me tell you something. That has caused you a whole lot of problems, more than you know. Because normal people have empathy. They don't like one person causing problems for another. You don't even begin to understand that. All you care about is like the BTK said, I wanted to rape this woman, and dadgummit, she went to her friend's house at the last minute, so I couldn't. I was so mad. I couldn't bind, torture, and kill her. She fucked up my plan. That's how you see it. It's exactly how you see it. You don't care who you hurt or how bad you hurt them. You're just mad somebody fucked up your plan. Mike was about to do that. Lucky was about to do that. Weren't they? Because you could have come out and said, you're right. There's nothing in this arrest report that says he was in any fight at all. She just filed a police report. I didn't name you as a suspect. I said maybe. I said it could have been a random guy, or it could have been them. I did just have a specific threat made to my car. Specifically. He's made threats before to do something specific, and then he carried him out. So I'm sure, Officer Neely, you can imagine that's terrifying for me. Empathy all of a sudden hit him. Yeah, I can. I can't imagine that. See, you guys don't know what that is, do you? You don't have it. You're a sociopath. Look at that. All I want is him to leave me the fuck alone. McNamara email. You're still trying to do it, aren't you? Look at that. Mr. Perry, I said shut up. The reason you're in trouble, when you contact me, when you peep on me, when you hack me, when you evade my privacy, when you cause hardship and strife and conflict and trouble and stress, you get told on and told on and told on and told on. You will never get a date with me. You will never, ever get any kind of date with me. It doesn't go both ways. You will never get a date with me. I don't care what you want. I don't want you. I don't like you. I've made that clear. I did say no every day for a decade. It's not been a week or a day or a month. It's been a decade, motherfucker. You need to keep up with everybody else. You're very mentally slow, and it's irritating the shit out of us. I said no. One time is all I should have to say that. I said stop contacting me and my family. One time is all I should have to say that. Nobody's done you wrong. You're in the wrong. Stalking, hacking, peeping our crimes. You're just a low-life criminal. Nothing else. You're just a job for me. Nothing else. You're just slow. You're stupid. It's irritating the shit out of me. Leave me alone. Understand what those words mean. Leave me alone. Understand what these words mean. When you bother me, you get caught. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't like you. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want you in my life. Don't you dare break into my home and then tell me to leave. Fuck you. You remember who it is you're talking to. Nobody's caught your crime like we have. Nobody. Nobody has caught your crime like we have. That is the McNamara email. It says he's gonna false arrest me to coerce a lie. I said no. I've said no for a decade. I'm saying it again today. I'll say it again tomorrow. Stop contacting me and my family. It is the law. You better comply with it. Because if you don't, what happens is you don't get the date, you get told on. What do you think we're doing that for? What do you think they get these recordings for, Mr. Powell? To play for party entertainment? What do you think they're getting them for, Mr. Perry? Shut up and get off me. Both of you. Perry, do not contact me at all. Don't contact me at all. Do not ask me again who told. I will never help you. Because when you're in jail, there is no more invasion of my privacy. There is no more financial loss. I will not be broke again. You're gone. You won't be here to harass my family either. Get out of my life. I will never help you. Mr. Warman, I am sick and tired of repeating myself. I'm sick of it. You have a legal obligation to restrain your client. So fucking restrain your client. We're sick of this. Everybody is. Do not contact my family again. Any of you. Do not contact any of them. We're sick of you. Do you not get the words? Understand the words. We're all sick and tired of you. You're disturbing us. You're creeping us out. Leave us alone. Thank you.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. Stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why you. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why you. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why you. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay.
He's happy that she's okay. I'm happy that the woman in this video is okay, Judge Parker. I moved twice to get away from a weirdo who will not fucking leave me alone. I'm a victim of domestic violence. I asked him to leave me the fuck alone. Nobody owes him a lie. Mr. Powell wants everybody to shut up, which he wouldn't do if he hadn't done anything wrong. There's a police officer that was murdered to cover up their crime, and I don't take that very lightly. It's called preservation of life. Throwing me in jail will make more victims. And boy, howdy, it'll piss people off. There's a lot of recordings of these men. That's what the emails are, like the McNamara email. They're the same as that. Nobody is doing anything to them. I moved twice to get away from them. They are not entitled to a lie, and I will not give them one. All they had to do is leave me the fuck alone. These are the Facebook messages from 2011. Nothing in here political mentioned, and these two people did not live in Texas. I grew up with them in New Mexico. One of them lived in Arizona, one of them lived in Florida. And I'm telling him nothing about politics. It's all about he will not leave me the fuck alone. He's pulling up behind my house, watching me in the backyard. And Cheryl's telling him about he comes into a restaurant. I wasn't even there. I didn't even see that. How was that delusion? I didn't see it. What happened is I left my phone at home. Twice. Ever. If you GPS my phone, then he knows where I am. If I forget my phone at home, don't you think it should look like I'm at home? So how did he know to go looking for me? He knew I wasn't home. Cameras. Video voyeurism. It's a sicko thing to do. Violate a woman that way. And you don't have my consent. You never did. You never did. If there's an email that says police recording, that means the police recorded them talking about it. So if they do it, they proved us out. Like 9 pages of phone calls my attorney, Mr. Wishcamper got. Mr. Wishcamper shouldn't have to get anything. But because I keep getting threatened with a second false arrest, he does. He gets it and Mallory gets it. And when they block my emails, which they do, some of them, then it goes into 2 other places they can get to it, and I'm not going to say what those are. All you had to do is go mind your own business, get a life, and get the fuck out of mine. Stalking is a crime. For you, it's federal. For you, it's federal. Hacking, peeping, those are crimes, weirdo. You're a sex weirdo, aren't you? And you have no control over yourself. You're pathetic. And I left. I won't have anything to do with you. You have zero chance of anything. I won't even take your phone calls. You have zero chance. You're making everybody mad. Don't contact me. Don't contact my family. Leave us alone.
What rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat.
Do you understand this man is not a church deacon or an elected official, and he is by far smarter than you and more respectable than any of you? By far more respectable than any of you. He's calling men like you on your bullshit, and you have that coming. I was raised in the home of an elected official. I was taught how to act with dignity and respect, and it's not like you guys act. Listen, when I went to work in a strip club, why do you think that was? That all of a sudden I'd leave my life where I'm interacting with federal elected officials, Senator Reid, Senator Ensign, congressmen, judges like Judge Parker, Judge Hawker, Judge McClendon, Governor Perry. Why do you think I would just leave that and go work in a strip club? Why do you think I would do that? There's 2 reasons. 1, to get away from you, or any chance that I would have to interact with you. 2, is because that's where you can catch a crime. Guess what? I came out with a whole lot more than you did, didn't I? More than has ever been collected, evidence-wise, of your crime in your entire lives. I'm very good at what I do. People can't tell if I'm fucking with you, or if I'm telling, the truth or a lie or what. It's called sting-opping. And you make a slip up, I catch it. Boom, just like that. I was raised by 3 generations of law enforcement. Now, what I was saying about the way that you guys acted with Officer Neely, you killed a cop. It's not funny. You're not getting away with that. You're not getting away with what you did to Mike. So if a detective walks in a house, there's a guy that calls in a missing person. My wife is missing. I need to make a report, and the cops come looking. Or even her family calls. We haven't seen our daughter in days. It's not like her just to not come around. And they walk in the house, and they start smelling bleach. And there's carpet all of a sudden. There's new carpet in one room, and it's been painted. They're going to know there's probably blood splatter in that room. There's probably a pool of blood that is enough to have caused the death of a person. So we need to find out. Well, that's the first room we're going to look in. Destroying evidence, Mr. Perry, is evidence of a crime. When you destroyed the arsenic or whatever the fuck it was that you were given to me in my work, we'll just explain it away as a strip club, she's on drugs and shit. I have not even smoked pot in my life. I barely drink. Now, Judge Parker, I'm going to tell you something. In my dancing thing, that's work. And it had a purpose to accomplish, one that nobody else would do. Because Mr. Perry's been doing this for a long time, and people in Lubbock just overlooked it until I got there. And if you remember, when I got there, I was talking to you about problems that we were having with the school, LASD. There was some things there that weren't right. I fought like a motherfucker for 2 years. And the man that was in charge of that place was Wayne Havens. And I went to the board members, and I complained about what I was seeing happen. This is wrong. XYZ is wrong. And Judge Parker was like, yeah, my kids go to Friendship. I don't know anything about that. But I sat there and talked to her about it. Pretty open with her. But yet never mentioned any problems with Charles Perry. I didn't want anybody to know. I thought for sure he could control himself before anybody would find out he had, there was a weirdo thing going on with him. He's a married man. He's an elected official. Surely he cares about his reputation more than that. Right? That's what I'm thinking. My job was to get you elected because I knew actually you're not. We did not expect you to target me, though. That we did not expect. You know why? Because I'm strong. And your victimology is more subservient women. I don't fit that. Never did, never will. Never did, never will. So that was part of the reason we were surprised that you targeted me. Because all I was supposed to do, Mr. Perry, is get you elected. Your victimology is typically very subservient type of women that will do what you say because you said it. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't know you. I came in here from Vegas. I know a lot of people. You are not relevant. I get you think you are, but nobody else does. Go down the strip and ask those people if they give a shit who you think you are. They don't. Guess what else, Mr. Perry? There's a lot of escorts there that see men like judges and state representatives and governors and, nobody ever hears a thing about it. They'll do whatever weirdo bitch thing you like. So what the fuck are you doing messing with me? Because when you mess with me, you get caught. Like never before in your life. So what happens with LASD is that we have some problems. I go to the board. I went to the board in a board meeting and said, we're having these problems, and I'm here to tell you something. You've got a 10-day complaint process. I mean, it was long, like a 30-day complaint process. And in Vegas, where there's 2 million people in Clark County, they got like a 72-hour complaint process. You make the complaint, within 72 hours, you've got a resolution. And we had to do that, unfortunately, one time, and it was resolved within 72 hours. So what is your problem? You got this itty-bitty, podunk little something-something, and it takes you 10 to 30 days to solve a problem? I think you need to make some improvements here. And I was told, we've been doing it that way for 30 years, so you're just stuck. Sorry. Nope. I'm sorry, that's not working for me. Nor is it working for the kids. Because guess what? The kids are trying to go to school, and your mean-ass teacher that needs some reprimand is making that very stressful and difficult for them. They don't have the right to do that to my kid. You know what you need to do? Resolve the fucking problem in a timely manner. These are little children. They came here to learn, not be harassed by a teacher who needs reprimand. So, I asked the board members to change the time of the complaint process. I talked to Judge Parker about it. Judy, she was my friend, Judy Parker. If she's involved in this somehow, her name keeps coming up. Judy's going to be mad, is she? What? She's going to be mad because I got sick and didn't go to dinner and your little plan didn't work out? Nobody's picking a fight with you. So, 2 years later, Havens gets caught diverting funds. It's a big headline in the newspaper. His wife was sick and he resigned because of that. That's not what happened. What happened is Wade Havens was told resign or be fired. He was diverting funds, and you're not supposed to do that, to a different bank account, and he wouldn't be accountable for the bank account. And a lot of people commented, we'd go to the board meetings, and I think this went on for like 6 months, and the board would ask, we need information on this Wells Fargo account. What is it? And he would know, every excuse in the book. We don't have that here. Oh, we forgot to get that for you. Oh, every single month it was something. Oh, we forgot this. We forgot. They put it off and put it off. And finally the board said, that's enough. That's just about enough. Everybody heard it. It was in the board meetings. So why they thought they could pass off this bullshit story of, his wife had diabetes and he's got to resign to take care of her, I don't know. Everybody knew that wasn't true. Especially if you were in a board meeting and you heard the arguments about the bank account. That was, not supposed to be or something. So anyway, he's gone. We get a new superintendent in, and the whole school system improved by, oh my God, it went from night to day. A lot better. Everything went smoother. Everything was more efficient. Everything was more, it was fantastic. A fantastic change. We needed that badly. And it benefited kids through the whole town. Through the whole town. Sometimes we've been doing it that way for 30 years. Slap the guy in the face. Get up with the times. We don't talk like that. Why do you talk? Why would you even think like that? We've been doing it that way for 30 years. It's not working. So it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Fix the problem. This is my personality. I'm sorry if you can't handle that. Fucking get it done and get it done right, or get out of my way, because I'm going to. Everybody in Lubbock had all this time to figure out what Charles Perry was up to, and they didn't, and I did. So I don't have a lot of patience for it. And he's hurting a lot of people in a way they'll never get over. And he came up to Oklahoma and hurt a cop, and I'm not okay with that. I don't know why you would be, Judge Parker. I don't know why anybody would be. Why would you, Matt? Y'all don't need a cover-up and a lie, and you don't have one. You need to apologize. And you need to get him home to his family. And you need to let law enforcement do what they're supposed to do. And quit buying a lie. And quit trying to make me lie. I'm not going to lie. You're going to put me in jail and try to force me to lie? Don't hold your breath. It's not going to happen. You're going to get charged by my guys. Because my guys know how to get the job done and get it done right. You're either a go-to guy or you're not. You're a success or you're a fail. But you can't be both. Nobody's caught the crime like me. Don't forget who it is you're talking to. Because you're irritating the shit out of me. Don't ask me who told. I don't even know that. You sure as shit don't get to know that. Nor would I help you. It speaks to your delusion that you would even ask me that. We all want you gone. When you're in jail, there is no more harassment. There is no tricks and coercion and coercing and coaxing. There are no more dead people. There are no more hurt women and children. Judge Parker, he's hurting women and children badly in a way that we won't get over ever. And unless you want to, unless you order a thorough and complete investigation, because I didn't get that. I didn't get one. My investigations were obstructed twice. There was no final determination made. I didn't get a blood draw. Nobody knows if it was arsenic or something else making me sick. But I tell you this, Perry would, if there was nothing, Perry would have made sure I had a blood test, and he would have gone out to the media and done the poor me. To see, we had her tested and there was nothing in the blood. She lied. Oh, she's just picking on me, poor me. But that's not what happened. What happened is he and Matt made sure my blood wasn't preserved, and I got no blood test. Tulsa police were obstructed. I was prevented by physical force and delay from reporting their crime. The crime that was reported, I did not sit down with a detective and go, look, detective, here's the video I mentioned in my police report. This is what happened that night. See this and this and this. I didn't get to do that. The video's gone. I didn't get a blood test so they could say, yeah, she's got arsenic. Or no, she's got nothing. Or no, she's got opioids. Or phenobarbital. Where's the blood test? Where's the evidence of a political vendetta? And Judy, you knew that I was, if you're in this, you fucking knew there was a problem with LISD. I told you all about it. Don't you think you would know if I was mad at Perry for a political reason? People would know. I would have said something. What the fuck was the issue? He imagined that. He's delusional. He thinks he matters. If you're in a district of 3% of the state, if you mattered in Texas, I didn't live in your district. I go to John Frullo. I didn't need you. John Frullo, by the way, was more respected. I had a hard time getting people to respect you because you burnt people. They just didn't want to talk about it because you like subjugating, right? I got cussed out. Never before in my life have been cussed out for supporting a person in a candidate, in a race. I got cussed out because you burned people. They just didn't want to give me any details. They didn't want to give me any details because you like to subjugate. You like racketeering, fraud, perjury, coercion, witness tampering, victim tampering. I'm going to force you to lie. I'll put you in jail. I'll starve you. Whatever I have to do to make you lie. And I'm the first one to look at you right in the eye and go, fuck you. Get out of my face. Get your coward pussy ass out of my face. Who do you fucking think you're dealing with? If I'm quoting you, I can't get that information by myself. Someone has to get it from you and give it to me, don't they? You don't know who the fuck you're dealing with, but they don't like crime. They're fighting crime. And more than ever in your life, you're caught. And this guy said, I'm glad that woman was okay. How many people do you think say that about me? It's called empathy. Normal humans have it. You don't. You're sick. And so you never factor that into the plan. You never factor that into the plan. And then you can't execute a plan with precision and accuracy. It's like you're fucking shooting blindfolded. Trying to win a race when you have no feet and everybody else has feet. You're like a dog running in circles. Oh, I believe I'm going to get to New York. I believe I'm going to get to New York. Yeah. And we're all laughing at you because you're just running in circles. We can see you're never going to get to New York. It's not going to happen. Because you keep doing the same thing every day to get you the same results. And everybody's like, oh my God, try to make him think logically or bang your head on the wall. You're gonna get the same result. Nothing but a headache. Nothing but a headache. Where's my blood test, Powell? Where's the video, Powell? Where's the completed, thorough police examination and determination of the what happened to me in Manford and what happened to me? And if it wasn't you, who did that to my car? Who did it to my car? There was powder all over another room. Did they even be able to tell? Because Mike Neely is sitting in prison for something you did. And if you didn't do it, then you need to demand an investigation to find out who did. Because right now it looks like you did. I'm walking in your house and I'm smelling bleach and I'm seeing carpet changed and I'm seeing paint and I'm thinking if there's a luminol test, there's going to be blood splatter everywhere, somewhere. Somebody died here. You can't beat a guy to death with one hand. You can't do it. And the hand was most likely red and swollen because it had a needle in it. So you can't beat someone to death when you're unconscious and drugged and you can't breathe. And you end up with not a mark on you. It's not possible. So who killed Chief Miller and who framed Mike? And why didn't you let me testify? If I don't have anything value to say, you wouldn't care if I testified, would you? You wouldn't give a shit. It's the same thing as when somebody changes the carpet in a room where somebody was murdered to cover up blood splatter and blood pools and cast off and all that shit, paints, and there's bleach until they cleaned it up. Evidence, destruction of evidence is evidence, dumbass. So, if average people look at this girl who's going through exactly what you're putting me through, except worse, you're worse than him. And they're glad he's glad she's okay and disgusted by him. You know, who do you think you're fooling? What the fuck do you think you're fooling? Judge Parker heard nothing about anything political because there wasn't anything political. She also heard nothing about your stalking problem because I was trying to keep that hush-hush, hoping you'd pull it together and stop. I am not in love with you. You're disgusting to me. You're disgusting to me. I left. You are pathetic, and you better start controlling yourself. You better start controlling yourself. You're no different than Bill Clinton or Anthony Weiner or Al Franken. If they were accountable, so are you. Get off your high horse. You're small town nobody. If I came to Lubbock from Vegas, meeting with I met famous people. I met, pretty powerful people. I've not even said who all I know. I'm not going to. It's none of your business. Why do you think you matter? There's a thing called delusional erotomania. You have it bad. It's a sickness. It's a disease. You have no right to bother me and my family with your disease, sir. You're not entitled. You know what you're entitled to? Go see a shrink. Go see a shrink. Get out of my phone. Get out of my privacy. Because the more you invade my privacy, the more you contact me and my family. And when I've told you and told you and told you, quit it. Stop contacting us. The more you cause a problem or a hardship for me, and the more you guys go around ranting like a 2-year-old little brat that didn't get your way. She's gonna mind or else. We're gonna make her mind. Wow. The more you guys do that, the more you get caught. And the more recordings my guys get in, and they play them for me. And I have to sit there and type them up in an email. It's no different than the McNamara email. You are not being harassed. You're getting told on, sir. You better start telling the truth. Nobody owes you a lie. Leave me the fuck alone.
For calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stalking me! Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's what I do. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's what I do. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's what I do. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's what I do. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes.